beautiful tie that the mayor gave me on my birthday. And I'm glad that you grew up by a racetrack, and you were never a jockey or anything, were you? No? Okay. Because it would be they're off to the races. Anyways, I put my money on you. Anyways, Mayor, thank you for everything. What a great partner the mayor's been, and Councillor Crisanti that I've worked with for many, many years, and I've known him for many years, and thank you for supporting this project and helping out our community. You know, when calls come in this area of Etobicoke North, we work so well together, so thank you. Jim, you're right, we've been working at this, the chair of Woodbine Entertainment Group, for many, many years. Thank you for your dedication, your hard work, and we'll get this moving forward. So thank you for that. And Michael Copeland, the CEO of Woodbine Entertainment Group, thank you for working on this project. Folks, if you want some entertainment, you come to Woodbine, you come up to beautiful Etobicoke. Was it close to $1 billion investment that you put in with the hotels and everything? Pretty close. $1 billion investment, give or take a little bit. But you've never seen anything like it, so you have to come up and catch a concert or some entertainment, and this will be just such a thriving place. Also want to thank Michael Lindsay, CEO of Metrolinx. And Michael, as Prab was just telling you, congratulations on you taking over for the permanent CEO of Metrolinx. And I know you've been a great leader at infrastructure, and you'll do the same great work at Metrolinx. Friends, we know workers and families are worried about the impact of President Trump's tariffs and the economic uncertainty they're causing. And they're counting on us to step up to protect their jobs, their communities, their families, and that's exactly what we're doing. One of the most important ways we're protecting Ontario is by doubling down on our plan to build. With more than $200 billion in infrastructure investments, this is the largest plan to build in Canada's history, and it includes highways, roads, transit that we'll be talking about today, hospitals, schools, and much more. We're investing in critical projects to get people moving again, like Highway 413, the Bradford Bypass, and the 401 Tunnel Expressway. We're also lowering costs for transit users with one fare, which saves commuters an average of about $1,600 every single year. So you could hop on here at the Woodbine station, you can go down to Union, hop off, hop on another train, and no matter where you come in from the province on GO Transit, you're only paying one fare. Our plan to build also includes $70 billion for the largest public transit and subway service expansion in North America. It includes historic new transit projects like the Yonge North and the Scarborough subway extensions, the Eglinton Crosstown West extensions, the Hazel McCallion line, the Finch West LRT, and the Ontario line. We're also expanding GO service across the Greater Golden Horseshoe, including right here in Etobicoke. And through our new deal with the City of Toronto, we're uploading the Gardiner Expressway and Don Valley Parkway to the province and speeding up construction on the Gardiner to help get people out of gridlock. Today, I'm thrilled to be here as we mark another important step forward in our plan to build Ontario with the official start of the construction on Woodbine GO station. This station will be a key part of our plan to provide two-way, all-day GO service and will connect travelers on the Kitchener line to Pearson Airport and the Up Express, to local transit, and of course, the Woodbine Racetrack. And I'm so pleased that as part of our ongoing work with Woodbine, they'll be contributing $170 million to support the construction of the new station. This is going to be a game changer for North Etobicoke and for the people who rely on the Kitchener line every day, with better connections, improved services, and new jobs and growth in the community. It's a great example of what we can do working closely with our great partners like Woodbine and across all levels of government. My friends, we're going to keep investing in our workers, our infrastructure, and our communities. We're going to cut the red tape, tackle gridlock, and attract new jobs and investments to our province, and we're going to protect Ontario no matter what. I want to thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
We will now take questions from the media. Please come to the microphone and state your name and outlet. Just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up. First question.
Good afternoon, Mark McAllister from City News.
Hi, Mark.
Premier, it was about 6 years ago when the announcement for a brand new Woodbine GO station was made. Soon thereafter, there were environmental assessments done, public consultations done. Yep. There was a completion date of 2023 announced at that point. Why has it taken to this point to actually get started?
Well, first of all, aren't we glad it's actually moving forward? You know, we had to do the environmental assessments. We had to consult with the community. But the great news is, Mark, is we're going to have a GO station here, and it's going to connect, thousands and thousands of people. It's so important, especially with the largest community college in the country, Humber College up there, along with all the industrial areas around here. This is going to be great for the community, and we can't wait to get it going.
In addition to that, obviously you're talking about a transit-oriented community with the backing of Woodbine. How long will it be before we can expect actual housing to be built? I know Mayor Chow had referred to trying to get things through the planning process as quickly as possible, and mentioned 12 months to get shovels in the ground. Can we realistically expect that?
Well, as long as the permits go through the city, and I know the mayor's been a champion in moving things forward and sitting down, making sure we have the right design for the community, and we're going to keep moving forward on it. So it's going to be a beautiful community with the amenities, and I just look forward to continue working with Woodbine and the mayor and Councillor Crescente.
Hey, Richard Southern, 680 News Radio. First off, Premier, do you have a pick for the third race? Any hot tips at all?
I'd bet on the mayor and myself. I'll be the thoroughbred. She can be the jockey. I'll whoop their butts. That'd be it.
Speaking of the mayor, when you guys were together a few weeks ago, the mayor suggested that she had offered some sort of compromise about bike lanes, whereby the bike lanes could remain, but an additional lane of traffic could also be added. So I wanted to ask you both today, have you reached a compromise on the bike lanes?
Yeah, we're working together, and I'm never against bike lanes. I'm just for those three areas that are heavily congested. And we always work together. We have a phenomenal relationship, and we're going to continue working on projects, including the bike lanes.
Also wanted to ask about that parking garage at Ontario Place that you announced the other day. You said it would bring in $60 million annually.
That's right.
Some back-of-the-napkin math, though, shows that every single parking spot would have to be full 365 days a year at a cost of $45 to bring in that $60 million annually. Is that realistic, Premier?
Well, I don't know if your math is right. I'd question your math. But, Richard, we're going to have an incredible parking lot there, and it's going to be used for multiple things, and it's just going to be incredible. That whole destination is world class, and it's going to attract 6 million people and visitors, and a lot of those 6 million are going to come from around the world, around the province, and they're going to be spending their money in the city of Toronto. They're going to be filling hotel rooms up. They're going to actually have a destination that they can go to. You talk about the ROM, the CN Tower, great places, art gallery, and so on and so forth. But now we're going to have a destination that's going to attract more people to Toronto. And then they're going to drive up the road or hop on the GO, and they're going to come to a spectacular destination at Woodbine that they can catch a race, they can catch a concert, they can stay in the beautiful hotel here, go out for a meal. Toronto's a happening place right now, and we're going to keep moving forward. We have the greatest cities in the entire world, bar none. I'll put our city of Toronto up against anyone in the entire world.
Hi, Premier Liam Casey from the Canadian Press.
Hi, Liam.
There's a family right now heading upriver from Attawapskat First Nation, traveling about 400 kilometers by canoe. They're going to meet up with the Skandiga First Nation, and they're going to set up a quasi-permanent encampment where you guys are thinking of building a bridge over the Attawapskat River. They say they want to show you and the Prime Minister that the land will not be mined without their consent. How do you go about getting consent from the likes of Attawapskat First Nation and the Skandiga First Nation?
Well, first of all, we've been consulting with Webequie and Martin Falls for a few years now. So we have been discussing this, and they've signed agreements moving forward. And Arrowland as well. So I guess they're going to have to be talking to their friends from other First Nations that are coming in their territory. But either way, let's put that to the side. I want prosperity for our First Nations. I want them to have their kids and grandchildren have a better life. I want them to have equity partnership. And we put $3 billion, never been done in the history of Canada, by the way, $3 billion that they can have an equity partnership. I want to make sure the $70 million of training goes to First Nations community. I want the $10 million of scholarships. So maybe one of their young people will be an engineer or whatever it might they go through for graduating, working on the actual site. So we're going to work well with them, and we're going to get a road up to the Ring of Fire with the collaboration and cooperation with First Nations communities. And we want to make sure that anyone who wants to be part of a business zone, an area, they're welcome to do that. And I've already had some requests that they want to be part of that zone. Not up there, but their territories too. They're good people, hardworking people, and they want to get it done.
Thanks, Premier.
Thank you.
You said recently that you were invited up north by some of these First Nations.
Yes.
Just wondering if you have plans to go north to visit some of these First Nations.
I do.
You know, what sort of this? Can you let us know a little bit about those plans?
Yeah, I'll let you know once we finalize it. But around the table the other day, I had probably half a dozen of them all wanting me to come up. And by the way, when I go to First Nations communities, they treat me like gold, absolute gold. And I appreciate and respect that they want to get together. And you never know, when I'm up there, maybe we'll do a little fishing together. Nothing's better than sitting down, maybe fishing and breaking bread and seeing exactly how I can support them, how the province can support them until their communities thrive and prosper and grow, and which would be fabulous for everyone. That's all I want, is prosperity for First Nations and for Ontario. This is one of our weapons against President Trump, and this will have our province in a good position at the negotiating table, and we're going to continue again consulting with our First Nations communities.
Hi, Premier. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Hi.
Are any of those visits or consultations, are you planning to do those alongside the Prime Minister, since I know you are embarking on similar projects over the summer, doing maybe some overlapping kind of consultation and engagement?
Yeah, I'll have to ask him. I haven't talked to him in a few days, so next time I chat with him, I'll ask him to come up and maybe we'll go fishing. You never know.
And I'm looking to hear both from you and Minister Kersner about the Ombudsman report we saw yesterday, where Paul Dubé was calling for urgent action, saying that the correctional system is in a state of crisis, with people being housed in places like broom closets and converted pantries. What will you do to address that problem to make sure, as he said, that people aren't going or coming out worse than how they went in?
So, you know, I'll pass this over to Minister Kersner, but a couple things. We're building new jails across the province. We're accelerating new jails as quickly as possible. So that's great. And if there's any issues, people will be held accountable. I can assure you that. And I guess we have 400 federal prisoners that we have to move. They're borrowing space, the feds, because they have to start building the penitentiaries. And we take care of people 2 years less a day. But do you know how we fix the problem with overcrowding? Tell the criminals, stop kicking in doors, putting guns to people's heads, robbing people, and breaking into houses. So all the criminals out there, you don't want to go to hotel jail, then you don't cause trouble. You don't break the law. We have laws. One law, one country. And you aren't bad guys, you aren't going to jail. But if you're bad guys, I want to lock you up and keep you in there for as long as I possibly can. So that's my answer on that. Over to you, Minister.
Well, thanks, Premier. You know, our government, led by Premier Ford, has not stopped when it comes to investing in our correctional system. Premier mentioned...
Okay, so we've been listening live to this announcement. The new Woodbine GO station, this is being made at Woodbine Racetrack,